So there's a bombshell report that has come out detailing how Bronny James' teammates really feel about him. Let's see what they had to say.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
Okay, so y'all know that Bronny James was picked in the second round, the 55th pick. And before that, Dalton Knecht was picked in the first round, 17th pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I have chronicled some of the struggles that Bronny James has had during the summer league prior to the championship, okay? That is all over now. I'm sure training camp will eventually start. And we will see Bronny James on an NBA court next to his father. But there is some tension, if you will, in the locker room regarding the nepotism, if you will, regarding Bronny James. As you can see here from...
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
The U.S. Sun, exclusive. Summertime sadness. Bronny James' Los Angeles Lakers debut leaves teammates, quote unquote, frustrated with tensions visible during the NBA Summer League. Yes. Says Bronny bounced back in the latter stages of the Summer League after a tough start. Yes, he did. The first 2 or 3 games were heinous, if you will. He did come back. I think his last 1 or 2 games, he scored, I think, 13 points and whatever else. The stat line was decent for a Summer League for a player of his stature. But everybody isn't happy with how he got in the league and how this may potentially hurt his team. So let's dig in. Says here, Bronny James' debut in the Summer League caused tension among Los Angeles Lakers teammates and left some of them frustrated, the U.S. Sun has learned. Bronny, 19, made history last month following his dad, LeBron, 39, to the City of Angels after being selected at number 55 overall in the 2024 NBA Draft. Bronny reportedly signed a 4-year, $7.9 million deal, $1.79 million, with the Los Angeles Lakers, becoming half of the NBA's first ever active father-son duo, just like his father dreamed about. But the amazing family achievement for the Jameses hasn't gone down universally well within the Lakers so far, sources told the U.S. Sun. Inevitably, the 6'2" guard Summer League debut in early July generated a tremendous amount of buzz. I would say some negative, some positive. So much so, it might have gotten out of control. The attention he has attracted was very, quote unquote, very frustrating for the players to see. And his alleged star treatment caused friction among the team, which went 0-5 to start the tournament per a Lakers insider. Now, this is a Lakers insider. I don't know who the Lakers insider was because they're not going to name him. But says it's very frustrating for the players to see. They had an 0-5 start. As most of you already know, they were keeping up with Bronny James' progress during the Summer League. It did create a large amount of buzz. Again, mostly negative, some positive, depend on, if you like him or dislike him, or if you just didn't like how he made his way into the league in general. All right? But an insider is going to speak on the exact tensions of the players anonymously, all right? So give me a second while I grift. For just $5 a month, please consider becoming a member of Welcome to Normieville. There you will find access to members-only videos and members-only live streams, as well as a host of other perks. Thank you for your consideration. Back to the video. Says here, quote, that kind of tension didn't help the group of players to build chemistry, said the source, who noted they have nothing against Bronny. And you could feel that there was no unity between this group of guys, as Bronny was the main guy and the others didn't feel that it was right, that he deserved that. The U.S. Sun has reached out to the Lakers and Bronny's agent for comment. That would be Rich Paul. After a couple of appearances in the California Classic, Bronny packed Thomas and Mack Center ahead of his first Vegas game against the Houston Rockets on July 12th. Now, most of you that were watching this noticed, blatantly, that all the coverage during the Summer League, as far as the Lakers was concerned, or the Summer League in general, was about Bronny. And they were chronicling his path through the summer league and some of his statistics, even though there were players on his team that did way better than he did, but they didn't get the same amount of shine that Bronny did. And of course, we knew that was going to happen, right? But inside the team, inside the locker room, this has caused frustration and probably a little bit of dissension in the ranks because of this undue publicity, right? Now, again, like myself, I have nothing against Bronny as an individual, as a man, as an NBA player. However, the publicity that he's getting is what the, I guess the point of contention is with a lot of people in the sports world, especially that cover basketball, that he's getting all this unnecessary attention where there's people out there, there are players that are fighting for roster spots. And it really, Bronny already has a guaranteed spot. So some people were kind of thinking, why is he even here? He already got the money. He already got the guaranteed contract. He's going to play on the court, right? And he can swap between G League and whatever. We can debate that later. But the fact of the matter is, Bronny's not playing for his career. But everybody else on his team during the summer league was. And I think that caused, again, some frustration and tension in the locker room between his teammates that this anonymous individual is talking about. Reporters crammed the backstage area for the second-round pick's post-game media availability in scene similar to the Victor Wembanyama craze last year. That's despite an Atlanta Hawks-Washington Wizards clash featuring a matchup between number 1s and number 2 overall picks. I'm not going to mess their name up. Zachariah and Alex, coming right after the Lakers' 99-80 loss to Houston. Now see what I'm talking about. They didn't even talk about the number 1, number 2 picks that came out there playing in the summer league. They got drafted number 1 and number 2 overall. They weren't even talking about them because they were so focused on coverage of Bronny. Bronny's tough summer league start led to an even more intense spotlight. Here's was his average. Okay, here we go. Let me get the right number here. He averaged 4.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.8 assists while shooting 22.6% from the field and going 0 for 15 from 3 in his first 4 games before bouncing back in the later stage of that tournament. That is disgusting statistics. 4.3 points. He went 0 for 15 from 3 in 4 games. He hadn't hit a 3-pointer. But they covered a man, or this young man, they covered him in the summer league, pretty much the whole summer league. All they talked about, all they covered was Bronny. Not even the number 1, number 2 overall picks. Not even Dalton Connect, that did twice as good as him in most of the games that they played. Because he is LeBron James' son. And to be honest, in most cases, only because he's LeBron James' son. Again, this is not hate here. This is the numbers speaking for themselves versus the coverage, versus what's really going on. Reality versus the narrative, if you will. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
Along the way, Bronny's reps made the guard unavailable for media availability on several occasions because they were probably going to question about his play and they didn't want to get a bad look, which the source labeled as not nice towards his teammates and other franchise members. Quote, "This isn't a good look for us," the insider said. And here's a quote here. It was pretty much Bronny on tour, Bronny's summer league teammate. Yes, it was. And while dealing with Bronny's attention and treatment, plenty of the other young guys that were trying to make a roster spot for next season, here we are, couldn't show their best side and show their A game. A player who was a part of the Lakers summer league team confirmed that with almost everything centered around Bronny, it was tough to enjoy hooping. Hooping, for some of you that understand ebonics, means playing basketball. Quote, "I mean, he was treated as someone apart, not like all of us. And that is very annoying as we didn't feel any chemistry in this group of players," the player said. Many hoopers fight for their basketball lives in the summer league, trying to impress NBA teams and secure one of the remaining open roster spots. The Lakers player said that given the attention on Bronny, he didn't feel he had an opportunity to showcase his potential. Quote, I ended up being very frustrated because I was never put in the best situation or even put in some plays or game plans because they wanted Bronny to show his skills and shine. He said, let me keep going. If you talk to any other player that was part of the roster of the California Classic and the Summer League, most of them would tell you the same thing. The tensions were visible and pretty much were all thinking about the end. The tensions were visible and pretty much we were all thinking about the end of the Summer League to get out of here and focus on our next step in our careers. The players suggested that the special treatment of Bronny and the tense atmosphere it created isn't necessarily the Lakers rookie's fault. And no, it isn't Bronny James' fault. He's just trying to play basketball. And again, the hand he was dealt is the hand he was dealt. If it was any one of us, we would probably likely do the same thing if we could admit this behind closed doors. But two things can be true, all right? While Bronny benefited from his father's name and likeness and clout, whatever you want to call it, while his dad gave him a foot in the door that not other players would get, and we would probably do the same thing, it is also not fair to his teammates that actually have something to prove, that are actually, again, fighting for a job, essentially. Knowing that Bronny's out here pretty much just playing for fun because he already has his job secured. And I think that's what a lot of people were thinking. We're trying to get our job. We're trying to get his roster spot. Meanwhile, this guy is pretty much just playing to showcase, to show off. All right? And, well, yes, it's not fair to them, just to be honest. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. This anonymous individual is just showcasing or chronicling the frustration that all the players felt because they're all thinking the same thing that he's saying and that I'm saying right now. He even felt a bit bad for James Jr., who overcame a cardiac arrest before his freshman year at USC, as he is not ready for all of this, and he isn't ready for the NBA, in my opinion, the player said. Los Angeles ended up Summer League with 3 straight wins, and Bronny put on a much better performance in his last 2 outings. Yes, he did. Still, the entire experience left a bad taste in the disappointed player's mouth. Quote unquote, it was pretty much Bronny on tour, he said. Now, this isn't Bronny's fault that he's getting all this publicity and press, and he's getting a chance to showcase his skills or lack thereof on the court. But this anonymous player is right, and that has to be said overall. That Bronny's promotion has probably left a lot of these rookies in the Summer League without a job. And to be honest, a lot of players that played on the Summer League on other teams probably thought the same thing because Bronny got most of the coverage during the Summer League. So I hope that Bronny improves over the summer and that when he debuts in his first regular season NBA game, that he does well. I hope the best for Bronny. At the same time, in this particular instance, which probably is not likely to happen anytime soon in our near future, our lifetime, this has left a lot of his teammates and a lot of his peers in the NBA, up and coming in the NBA, has left him at a severe disadvantage. So hopefully he won't dwell on that, but that is the truth. Bronny's introduction to the league has left most of his peers is most likely left a lot of his peers without a job. So I hope that with all the coverage going on with Bronny, that the scouts and whoever, the coaches that were looking to retain some of the other players, that they actually did take the time to look at the other players, all the athletes on these teams, and hopefully these guys are able to still get a roster spot. Now, again, this is the Summer League, so everybody's not going to have a job. But the players that deserved it, I hope they got it. All right? And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm Justin Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports, news, entertainment, and politics, mostly sports. Let me know what you think about this report down in the comment section. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.